And welcome again into the television version of Strategies for Living. I'm marriage and family therapist David McMillan. I'm delighted that you've tuned in today. Join with me here on Strategies for Living. Well, we're all about helping us live healthier, happier, more peaceful lives in our bodies, in our minds, in our spirits, in our relationships here in the 21st century. And we do that by engaging in important conversations with folks we like to call life strategists each and every time that we do Strategies for Living. Ben Moss, you're our life strategist today. I think you are the first. I don't think I've had another artist as a life strategist. But what is it about art? What is it that draws us into, why I love art. And you're going to show us a little bit about, you are the featured artist this year of Artini.
Yes.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And welcome to Strategies.
Thank you very much.
You're going to be a great life strategist. So our life strategist responsibilities, you've got to psychoanalyze the host and tell me what my problems are. So
oh my goodness. Well, as to your question about art, for me personally, as an artist, I can't not do it.
Yeah.
Even if it's something that the rest of the world doesn't see.
Yeah.
If I never showed it to anyone, I still would be painting every day.
How did you start it when you were
as soon
little
as
bitty?
I could pick up an instrument to draw with, I was doing it.
Yeah, yeah. Did you start? Of course, pick up
sure.
this
Okay.
and show this. This is striking.
Thank you.
This is absolutely striking. And do you title your art? What is this?
I
title?
do. This one is called Drowning.
Drowning.
Yes.
Okay. And what inspired this piece?
Well, it was for a benefit art show at the Noble Savage Tavern. And proceeds went to benefit some of the flood charities
Sure.
after the latest rounds of floods in South Louisiana. I went with the theme. You can interpret it literally, but
of course.
But for me, it also signifies all of the many ways in which our state could possibly be drowned.
I'm choosing to take it as a political statement.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
The older I get, the more political pieces I do.
Yeah. All right. Now, is it not being an artist? Do you refer to this as? Is this mixed media? Because
Absolutely.
you are both.
It's absolutely mixed.
You have you've cut out the state of Louisiana. You've painted it not on a canvas, but on the state of Louisiana.
And in fact, wood is actually my preferred
really
canvas, so to speak,
Okay.
substrate. And actually, it's even more mixed media than that, in that it's got spray paint, ink, acrylic, markers. I mean, basically.
So mixed media technically can be just mixing, instead of doing all acrylic or all watercolor, that you're mixing the media.
Yes.
But
basically,
you're really mixing it here. With
I've always been the
woodwork.
kind of artist that whatever is closest at hand that will do the job is what I use.
Okay. So I wanted to show this early on because this is, we'll show some of your other work, but now you can see, I think, all of our viewers can see why you are the featured artist.
Thank you.
At the Bossier Arts Council's Artini, which is coming up this Saturday,
Yes,
March the 4th, 7 p.m. till 11 p.m. Probably the only time this fundraiser is going to be held for the Bossier Arts Council in Shreveport.
Correct.
Because if you travel downtown Bossier, we know what's going on.
Exactly.
And you can't get there from here, right? But it's going to be at the old Car Museum at 601 Spring Street in downtown Shreveport. Great place.
Super cool event space.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah. So this is the 8th year that Artini's gone on to I'm assuming we're all going to drink a little bit of Artini's.
Yes, 17 local restaurants are competing for the titles of Judge's Choice, People's Choice, and Most Martisanal.
I love it.
I know, it's clever, right?
Do you have some of the folks that are competing here? Do you know some of the? I know you're the art end of it, but I'm putting you on the spot here.
There's so many of them that I can't recall all of them. I know, I believe Smashburger did a really nice non-alcoholic dessert one year, and I think they're back.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that Ralph and Kakus will be there.
You would expect that, being a good Bossier citizen.
Yeah, on the Bossier Arts Council's Artini Facebook page, they have a list of all the
participating.
Yes.
Okay, we'll try to pull that up during the break, and I'll give some of those. So, as the featured artist, how many pieces will you be displaying?
I will probably
Saturday?
be displaying around maybe 10.
Will people be able to come in and not just see your art, but
They-
bid on it and
Yes.
buy your art?
Absolutely, and in addition, I will be doing a live painting
Will you?
that they can auction. They're going to auction off.
Do
as well.
you have any idea yet what you're going to be doing?
I
What
never
you're-
do.
You never do. So
Yeah.
it's what comes. Okay, so this piece, the piece of how did this come to you? How did the inspiration for this? Where does it start? I'm always intrigued, Ben, by and I gotta say that I've had a canvas up in my library for 7 or 8 months now, and there is something on it, but it's not much.
Do you want the honest answer?
Yeah, I want the honest answer.
For me, I can't speak for everyone, but comic books are what
Comic
did it.
books, really?
That's what I cut my teeth on. That's my
Really?
foundation in art. I went on to school for art and all that, but
Right.
still the singular striking image, that sort of the comic vocabulary is sort of ingrained in me now, and that's where all of my initial ideas come from.
Biggest inspiration is, again, you said that you knew you were going to do art.
Yes.
When you were very little. Did you know that you were going to be able to make your living?
No, and it's still it's a hard way to make your living for
Sure.
sure. But that never really was a deterrent to me. It is what it is. If I make money at it, great. If not, I'm still going to do it.
Well, not to put you on the spot, but what does a piece like that sell for?
That sold for $400.
$400. Okay, and it did sell.
Yes.
It sold for $400. Okay. Is it able to? Are you able to duplicate that or replicate that in any way?
I could, but
But you probably won't.
I feel it would be inauthentic. I'll make prints from it. I can do that. But as far as creating the piece again, I've actually had requests for this particular one to be recreated.
I bet you have.
But
I bet you have.
I don't know.
So you've kind of got this now on loan from whoever
Yes.
whoever owns it.
Yes.
You are obviously very, very proud of that piece.
I like it a lot.
Yeah. Do you have? And this is probably about as unfair question as I guess someone can ask an artist. Do you have a favorite piece?
Oh no.
No, because that would be like asking a father of 10 children,
Right.
who's your favorite child? Tell me your
Exactly.
favorite child.
Well, it's funny you
right?
should say that. Probably the closest things to favorite pieces that I have are ones that I've done for my children.
Really? How many children do you have?
I've got 2 daughters.
2 daughters, okay. And what have you done for your daughters?
A couple of times I've done special ones for their birthdays.
How old are they?
8 and 11.
Oh, wow. So they're old enough. Are they also artistic?
They're fantastic.
And what do they think about Daddy?
Oh,
And-
they
and
like it
what
a lot.
Daddy does.
They're big into it, and it has, I think, inspired them in some ways. And I feel a bit guilty because I've actually not sat down with them and instructed them on how to do things, and they've just done it anyway. I guess just through being around it.
Well, you've got some time yet.
Right.
8 and 10. There's a little.
But they're
time.
already incredible artists for their
Yeah.
age.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe you need to slip in a piece or two from them at Artini.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
Yeah, just maybe slip a couple of pieces of theirs in.
They would be
do they
thrilled.
sign their work?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of
Absolutely.
course. Okay, all right. I'll buy one sight unseen.
There you
How
go.
about that? The price has got to be right there. What is this interesting piece
Okay.
that we're looking at here?
This is called Warrior, and it came from just an organic exploration of using ink. During every October for the past several years, there's been an event called Inktober,
Inktober,
which
okay.
is really, it's just a voluntary participatory thing. It's not held in any one place. It's on social media, and artists all over the world use the month of October to make an ink drawing every day. And I used it this time because I hadn't touched ink in a while and just decided to experiment with it. And
Now, when you say ink, are we talking about ink
you
that?
could use that.
You could?
I
Okay.
used India ink and
Okay, so you're using the fancy.
yeah, but I'm sort of really ham-fisted with it on purpose. I use rollers, I use credit cards, I use razor blades, just whatever, different things to make marks that are not your ordinary
How
thing.
long did it take you to do this piece, Ben?
It probably took a couple of hours.
Wow.
And that's one thing I like about ink as well. You can do it fast.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So the inspiration came, and we're talking a couple of hours from inspiration to
done, yeah.
to finished product. Wow. Okay. And is this piece going to be
Sure.
displayed and for sale?
Might as well.
At Artini?
Absolutely.
Okay. And do we have any idea what this piece? What would be a piece like? What would a piece like this?
That's in the 100 to 150 range.
Wow. Okay. All right. How much? In my office, I have some original artwork. In fact, a friend of mine who is a psychiatrist is a prolific artist. So I've got some of his stuff displayed. I'm afraid to ask him. It's on loan, so I'm
Sure.
afraid to ask him how much it would be. But how do you go about, how do you go about determining, okay, well, this piece is $400, this piece is $150.
Right.
Personally, I would have a hard time.
It's
If
difficult.
somebody comes up and if I've done this, I'm probably going to price it at $25,000 because I don't want to get rid of it. Right.
Well, I mean,
I'm proud of it.
That's always been one of the most difficult things is pricing work, and you hear every artist say that.
Yeah. Is it so hard about pricing, or is it hard to let go? I mean, I would literally have a hard time letting go.
I used to be
that.
very precious about it that way,
Yeah.
and not be able to let things go. But the older I get, the more I want it out there.
Yeah.
So it's less difficult to do.
Is that like legacy stuff? Is that like, hey,
I
live
think
on,
so.
I live on through my
I think so.
through my artwork? Yeah.
Because I'm starting to get the feeling that by the age I am now, that I'm not going to make millions of dollars before I die. So,
Folks, we
maybe.
were having a conversation. You can look at Ben. We were having a conversation before we went on the air, and I asked Ben how old he was, and he told us. And I think the consensus among the studio here was he looks like he's in his 20s, but he's not. I won't
okay, it
ruin
doesn't matter.
I won't say how old you are, but you certainly don't look your age.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you.
I have nothing to attribute that to.
The art life has been obviously very good to you.
Well, I do think there's something to be said for doing things you enjoy with the talents that you have.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How big is our art community? Congratulations for being the featured, but there's some wonderful artists throughout our
Crazy
community.
how many talented people we have here.
Yeah.
It's the breadth and depth of the talent pool in our area it's just nuts.
Yeah, yeah. Did you have someone that you modeled, Ben?
Not really.
When you decided, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this commercially.
I'm still learning. I'm still learning as I go.
Put my art out there.
The business side of it and promotion and all that is something I'm still trying to figure out myself. Honestly.
Do you have a website that
I do.
people can go to and look for Ben Moss and
Yes.
look at some of your work?
Sure, it's
beyond what we're going to show here today?
Yeah, it's jbenmoss.com.
jbenmoss.com. All right. And now, how many pieces will you have down at Artini?
Probably
Saturday night.
10 to 15, maybe something like
Okay.
that. Smaller and larger, mostly larger.
Okay.
I usually work big, but for the purposes of today, I brought a few small things.
What's the biggest piece that you've done? My psychiatrist friend probably the size of, one piece I've got at my office is probably the size of the wall
Nice.
behind us.
That's
Yeah.
how big I
Yeah.
want to go. The biggest practical size for me, at least for transportation purposes right
Yeah.
now, is 4 feet by 4 feet.
Yeah. It was, by the way, when he told me I could take that to the office, that was the biggest single
Yes.
thing. How am I going to get this? How am I going to
Exactly.
get this from his office to my office?
Yeah, I'm
right?
still figuring out how I'm going to get stuff to Artini.
Yep.
But yeah, that's the biggest hang up right now. I do stuff on walls as well, so that's a different thing though. I mean, you can go as large as you want that
Sure,
way.
murals and things like that. Okay. Is some of your stuff at local places around town that we would know?
It depends on if it's weathered away by now or not. In the alleyway between the Blind Tiger and the building next to it was a big robot mural some friends and I did.
Oh, wow.
There's
Okay.
some stuff over on Texas Avenue by Mini Cine, just fun spray paint.
Just fun,
stuff.
yeah. Okay, all right. What's the weirdest question when you go to things like Artini? Obviously, people love to interact
Yes.
with the artist.
Yeah.
What's the weirdest question you've ever gotten?
Weird. I haven't gotten many weird ones, but a constant one is where do you get your ideas from?
Where do you get your ideas
And
from?
that's the main thing that I think people ask.
Well, I don't feel so bad because I asked you that question earlier. We're going to take a break. Ben Moss is our life strategist today. He's the featured artist at Artini coming up this Saturday night. We'll tell you more about that when we come back. Ben Moss today on Strategies for a Living. We'll be right back.
My relationship with music started when I was about 6 years old.
What happened was I just went to the piano and I started playing For Elise by memory.
They had a career day and a musician came to the class and he did a little demonstration, played saxophone, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's what I want to do the rest of my life.
Wound up being a music educator, and it's been my life for the past, I can't even count how many years. In high school, I wanted to be a professional trumpet player, and it turned out music education was really where I needed to be. And for all these years, that's where all the time and the effort has taken place.
What I get out of music, it's like an expression of the soul, and I hate to sound sappy, but it is. It's like anything that you feel, you can convey it without words.
It takes me to a place where my words don't know how to get me, if that makes any sense. When I don't know how to put my emotions into words, there's almost always a song out there that can do it for me.
Some of the things I get out of teaching personally is actually seeing students get it. One of the subjects that I really love to teach is music theory. And many of our students come to us with a love of music and the hope of studying music and either performing professionally or being music educators. To get to that end, they need to study the music theory aspect of it. What do the notes mean? What's on the page?
Being a community college, you know, people look down on the college because of that, and I think they're wrong. So the quality doesn't suffer at all. I mean, it's unreal. They expect the same thing out of you at a community college as they do at a four-year institution.
And the concepts that you learn and, you know, techniques, and you can't find it at every school.
One of the main things that we try and do here at Bossier Parish Community College with our music students is to instill a good work ethic.
One of the scariest things that I've ever had to do was get up on the stage to do my student recitals like everybody else is required to as a major, but the instructors help you through it. I mean, they're great. You couldn't ask for a better program here.
When I leave Bossier Parish Community College, I'm gonna go get my bachelor's, and then I'm gonna go get my doctorate and hopefully teach at a college.
One of the aspects of our music program that we're always working on is recruiting quality and talented students.
Welcome back into Strategies for a Living. I'm marriage and family therapist David McMillan. Obviously, you are watching Strategies for Living today, but don't forget you can listen. Strategies for Living started as a radio program. We are 25 years into it now. We're in our 25th year on News Radio, 710 Keel, Sunday mornings between 9:05 and 10, and on Thursdays on healthylife.net out of Los Angeles, 12 noon here Central Time is where you can hear us, and of course on www.strategiesforliving.com. Ben Moss is our life strategist today. He will be the featured artist this Saturday night at Artini, the Bossier Arts Council only fundraiser of the year.
Yes,
That's
sir.
extraordinary right there. How do you go about, how long have you known you were going to be the guy? You were going to be the
Only
the
for a few
featured-
months. Yeah, just since a little before the end of the last year.
Okay. Did you go to Artini last year?
Did not get to make last one, but I went to the one before.
One before. And so, food, drink,
Yes, it's
art,
excellent.
good fellowship,
music. as well.
You can't get better than that. Go on Facebook. What's the Facebook page?
The Artini 2017 is an event page on Facebook.
On Facebook.
already. And if you also look at the Bossier Arts Council's Facebook page. you
And
can
that's
find it.
bossierarts.org.
Yes, they do on their website as well.
Okay, now, if you're going to go, folks, Saturday night, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m., don't head to Bossier. Head to Shreveport.
Yes.
Because Bossier, where this would normally be, you can't get there from here, if you know what's going on in Bossier City right now. So, probably historic. The only time that the Artini will probably be held in Shreveport, and that's at 601 Spring Street in the old, it's the old car museum. Most all of us who have been around here for a while know the old car museum.
Yeah.
Great space.
And it's a graffiti theme, so the industrial nature of that space really fits.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, comes through big time. So 601 Spring Street is where you're going, 7 to 11 this coming
And,
Saturday, March the 4th.
Tickets can be gotten directly from the Bossier Arts Council. They're $65 a piece. However, Wednesday night at the Shreveport Downtown Art Walk, I'll be at the Downtown Development Authority doing a live paint, and they're selling them for $50 a piece.
Oh, wow. So big. Now that's Wednesday night?
Yes.
That's, okay, so day after tomorrow. What time is that, Ben?
That starts at 5 and goes to 8.
Okay. All right, so let's get back to some of your stuff. Now, this is your, what would we call this?
I guess he's a mascot,
You're
for
a
lack of a
mascot,
better term, yeah.
Yeah?
And
we
has
don't
the-
have a name for it.
No, I mean, he's got my street art tag name on there, Ployd, but I guess you could call him that. I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
so he could be Ployd. Or we could name him
That's not a bad idea.
at Artini 2017. I mean, you could maybe go for, maybe you could give something special to
That's a
someone who would
fantastic
come
idea.
up with with he looks a little devilish to me, but like you said, he's cute.
Yeah,
he's cute
he's
and
just a little
cuddly
imp.
too. So so he looks like we could get into some trouble.
Absolutely.
You know? I like that. So show us some of your other pieces.
Oh, okay.
This looks great. What is this?
This is another Inktober piece.
Another
just,
Inktober,
Just
okay.
experimenting around with ink and ink wash.
Yeah. So again, now this looks like it's done on a paper sack.
It was brown craft paper, yes.
Yeah. Okay. And what is this titled?
I think I called this one Viking.
Viking.
Just
okay.
all the Inktober stuff I did is just pretty literal, because it was really just experimenting with. Basically, it was almost a Rorschach. I started with an ink blob on one side, folded the paper over, got this shape, and then it turned it, and then I just carved into it with other colors of ink and made it that.
Okay. I like that. I'll go for the Rorschach. Yeah.
I figured that would resonate. Yeah.
Yeah. So it might be interesting to know. Okay, what do you see? What do you see in that piece? You know, everybody may see a little something different.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and that's literally how I approached that exercise, was making just a shape with ink and mirroring it and then seeing what it said to me.
Are you? You know, we may have some folks that are really wanting to do art. Are you formally trained?
I am.
Did you get formal training? And if you know that you want to do that, how do you go about that? Is there
I don't
Is there a
think-
quote-unquote normal path?
I don't really think so. I'm not sure that it's necessary to go to art school. That's what I did, but I think I would be doing this regardless.
Okay.
And I'm not certain that I'm using a lot of what I learned in college, to be honest with you.
Right.
But, you know, everyone has to find their own way. And really the number one thing is to just practice, just daily practice.
Practice, practice, practice.
it.
Okay, we got a couple of minutes. Show us these.
Okay.
Show us these other pieces here before we wrap up.
Well, this is a Mardi Gras piece.
Oh wow!
It's from a live painting in January with a Mardi Gras theme. This is the king cake baby bursting out for freedom.
Don't eat me, and the don't is hey. I love it. All right, great piece.
Thank you.
Great piece. And we got one. I think we've got an angel down there.
Oh, actually, this is what I call fortune teller.
Ah! Oh, look at that. Is this another? Is this another?
It's an
piece?
Inktober piece, but it felt New Orleansy to me.
It looks New Orleansy. I love it. Okay, folks, if you like what you see, Ben Moss, artist, he is the featured artist this year for Artini, the Bossier Arts Council that's in its 8th year. It's the only fundraiser. It's this Saturday evening, March the 4th, 7 to 11. Only time that Artini will probably be in Shreveport, 601 Spring Street, the Old Car Museum. And again, the Facebook page where you can check this out and get more information.
Yes, the Bossier Arts Council Facebook page, their website, which is bossierarts.org, or the Artini 2017 Facebook event page.
Thank you for coming. You are an inspiration.
Thank you, sir.
Ben Moss. Thank you
Good
very
to be
much.
here.
Folks, thank you for tuning in to Strategies for Living. Don't forget, find us on the radio. We're in our 25th year on News Radio 710 Keel, Sunday mornings, 9:05 to 10. For Ben Moss, I'm marriage and family therapist David McMillan. We'll see you next time here on Strategies for Living.